Scola? No! No! Why? Scola? You've abandoned me in my time of need, Scola. He is probably on a mission, like Batman or something. I don't know. I imagine actually he's like, he's getting big money. Skola's the kind of man who should be a millionaire. If anyone deserves to be a millionaire, it's Jacob Scola. Yo, that man like shades. I mean, besides maybe Andrew Lamont, but we can talk about that later. Yeah, so I'm sad, and today we have a guest. I'm not gonna say a special guest because that's what he says, and it'll make me cry if I. I miss you, Scola. No, alright. I'm dying. I've been deprived of my life energy now. Alright. So today we have a guest, and he's a cool guy. He's a tall man. He's another thing, probably. I don't know. Hey, you exist now. That was the worst introduction I've ever given. Woo! That's right. It's Hunter Horan. Yeah.
Waiting for this my whole life.
All right, Hunter Horan is. Oh wait, go.
This is like the greatest day of my life right here.
I hope so. I hope I don't mess it up for you. All right, I gotta be best host. Best host. Put on the power of Jacob Scola. All right. All right, Hunter. I want you to tell me about cold showers. Do we need them? Let's discuss.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like, productivity will go up by, like, at least 30%. At least.
So why is that?
It's good for your skin. Like, I haven't had dry skin in, like, years. It wakes you up. Like, I'm, like, 75% more, like, conscious and aware of everything and all my surroundings. Gotta be tip-top shape if I'm on a prestigious podcast like this.
So did you have dry skin before you started taking cold showers?
Probably. I don't even remember. I've been doing this for like years at this point.
So yeah. So who like was the the man who came to you? Who was the missionary of cold showers that like showed you the way, the truth, and the life?
Not really. It was just like the shower was broken and it was just like cold. And I was like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good. And then I got used to it.
Dang, you're the prophet.
Dude, I am. I'm the the Buddha of showers.
Dude, yeah, you're shower Buddha. Dang.
It's like when you was under that tree, I was under a cold shower.
That's pretty cool. So that's your origin story, was that you took a cold shower once and now you're just a genius?
Yeah, Batman's parents died. My shower was broken one day.
We all gotta start somewhere. And, some of us, that's just in the shower. It's...
Absolutely.
Alright.
Dude, I just realized.
What?
This is called BeansTalk. It's beans. You're talking, but
it's
also like a beanstalk. Like, Jack, dude, that's insane. That's a bar. That's insane.
That is bars. I know. Thank you.
That's next level.
We all love it.
That's like Eminem and Tupac together. I think most people don't even know that.
You know what the true meaning of beanstalk?
That's a double entendre.
Yeah, it's a double entendre. I know, yeah. I love double entendres. I'm so glad we can have one as the title. Dang. We need more double entendres in the world. We need an entire, 30-page book that's a double entendre throughout the entire
Dude, absolutely.
That would be strange. I'd like to see someone try to write that, actually. Like, how much time would it take you to, think of something that means just two different things entirely?
It's, not just, what you're saying, but it's, in the way you say it.
That's true. Yeah, that's why
so that's, really hard.
Yeah. So you have a lot of things you want to talk about. I guess first we're going to talk about who is Hunter Horan. Hunter Horan, he plays sports. We know that. What sports do you play?
Yes, sir. I was captain of the tennis team. Pretty sick. I play golf. Probably won't be the captain for that. Let's see. I did mock trial, but then it was all computer this year, so I quit. and then I did my Fed challenge, and then it was all virtual, so I quit that too.
Mm.
And then I was in the musical, but then I quit that. Um,
Jeez.
yeah, man, it's
All
crazy.
right. Yeah, it's
I was a
crazy.
Boy
So
Scout for a week,
let me guess. You quit
and I
that?
quit because it was boring.
Ouch, Zach. Zach, is Boy Scouts boring?
No, Boy Scouts has been the most exciting thing I've done in my entire life. We do lots of whittling and rope tying. Honestly, the most riveting experiences I've ever had in my life. I don't know why.
Hunter, you coming at Zach's livelihood, dog.
Dude, we went on a camping trip, and I was sick, and then I went to the thing the week after, and it's just like tying knots. I'm just like, this is not what I signed up for, man.
That's fair. Tying knots. I kind of do like get jealous though. Like my Boy Scout homies show up and they're like, "Oh, I know what kind of knot that is." And I'm like, "I want to know what kind of knot that is." I'm just.
Gabe tells me about some really try hard Boy Scout troops, and they build bridges with sticks, with an actual drawbridge. They go crazy. That's impressive.
It's about the little things, Hunter. You need to be able to tie knots so that you can eventually build the Tower of Babel using only toothpicks. That's the
so
Boy Scout way.
Then I can anger God, and then he's gonna smite me.
Yeah, I guess maybe don't. They are pro gods, so they probably wouldn't build a Tower of Babel. They're I don't know. Maybe. What have I done? I've angered God. Oh no. What are we gonna do next? Not anger God. Let's go to.
Yes, sir.
So how did you become captain of the tennis team?
I think I was just loud, and people like that I was loud. They're like, "Hey, we're just gonna get this guy captain."
All right, that's sick. So the tennis team, they're all pretty cool. They're all your homies. They're just like
process.
Wait, you got elected? I don't remember people electing people for captains in other sports I played. So yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. So tennis is democratic. It's like a democratic union. How much of it is democratic?
Basically nothing except for who's captain. Because Steve Bender, that man's the boss, man.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess. It's so funny to me, like our government is democratic, but very few other things are really democratic. At least in a way where everyone's say has the same amount of swing. Like you think about about companies, they just got a CEO and he makes a bunch of choices, and those really impact.
Yeah, the boardrooms.
Yeah, the boardrooms. That's true. Yeah, that's the most shady thing I've ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on in a boardroom. That's terrifying.
Yeah, we don't know what the government has. Dude, true. I've been saying they have laser weapons for years, and everyone's like, "Man, you're crazy." But dude, they're literally gonna have laser weapons in 2025. That's all I'm saying. I've been saying it for a while.
Laser weapons? So what do you mean by laser weapons?
Dude, the government's got lasers, man. They're actually gonna implement them.
I mean, so I don't. Because laser is kind of a vague term. It's just a bunch of particles that are shooting extreme heated thing. Is this space lasers? Is this lasers you're shooting a Star Wars gun? What exactly are these lasers?
I have no idea. We should probably ask our government.
They've just got weaponized lasers somewhere.
And dude, if they're just saying that now, there's even more stuff that even crazier. That's whoa.
I mean, we already have planet destroying weapons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully, this would be the very government thing to just still be spending a ton of money on building other stuff to blow up the planet, but we really don't need it. I hope they're not doing that, but I don't know what else are they gonna do when they're trying to be able to employ everyone who wants to be in the military. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they already have brain neural link interfaces. Elon Musk.
That's the next thing. So, yeah, what do you think about that? So, do you think that a lot of people are actually going to start putting stuff in their brains?
I think definitely some people are really gonna jump in on that. I forget when he said. I think he said in like 2 years, like it'll be like
Mm.
ready. Like
Yeah.
there'll definitely be some people who are like, no, that's not for me. But then a bunch of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to do that. It's trendy.
Yeah. Sometimes I kind of say that like the brain is like the true last frontier because we don't really quite understand it yet, and because of that, I think that people are going to be very hesitant. Like maybe if it's something very like that, just like plays music or something, um, in your brain,
Yeah, that'd
some
be
people
cool.
might use it. A lot of people will be wary. So this is a thing that even if it's implemented tomorrow, it's probably going to take until most of us are dead for people to really, in my opinion, for like a majority of Americans to have something in their head. I mean, but we have heard the Elon Musk spiel, like you're already an um, cyborg because you're using your phone, and this is
Yeah,
just
so it's like, what's the
potentially.
difference? It's
Yeah.
just like in your head at that point. It's like it's just location. It's not what's happening. But my question is like, how does that affect like consciousness? Like, is
Hmm.
your consciousness gonna like change or whatever? Like how you
Yes.
perceive everything? Like that'd be kind of crazy.
So that's what I'm kind of going into with the Final Frontier thing. Now, I don't think. Hopefully, he's not going to be doing something that's that close to your brain. Hopefully, it kind of be like it just hooks up to some sensors. But I mean, there's possible like because it's your brain is just a bunch of nerves firing. Like I don't know if it'll be able to change your brain. That would be crazy if it did. I don't know how we would be able to tell because yeah, I don't know. The brains are very complicated, and you should probably. I think I don't know. I'm usually like just do science, but when we're dealing with brains, something that we don't quite understand and are very integral to somebody's health and safety, I'm kind of like, maybe we should wait until we have a better grasp of it before we start throwing stuff in there. But maybe this is how we'll really start to learn how brains work is by throwing stuff on top of them and seeing what happens. That sounds terrifying, but that's how we've
Yeah.
always learned.
Yeah, I think like I don't think we're in the Matrix now, but there's going to be a Matrix in the future, man. It's coming. It's only a matter of time. Probably beyond our lifetimes, but
Well, but that's like the crazy thing is that that's the argument for we are in the Matrix. So long as there is a Matrix, then the argument is that the people in the Matrix will make another Matrix, and then there will be
yeah,
like infinite matrices in one original place, and then it's just a game of odds, which is kind of crazy to think of. But you
wasn't that
don't
a
think?
twist in one of the movies?
Wait, learn how
I
to
think it was.
twist.
It was like, oh, we're not actually outside. We're actually just in another Matrix, man.
Oh, really? I haven't seen the other Matrixes. I've only
They're
seen the
kind of
first one.
bad.
I'd imagine. I know. I mean, I like the first Matrix. I haven't seen, the Wachowskis also made Speed Racer, which we've talked about, which is a movie I love, even though nobody else does. But
Really?
Scola loves it.
Isn't that one of those so bad it's good movies?
No, I think it's just good.
Really?
But some people think it's abysmal. I can understand that because it's got terrible green screens and stuff like that. But there are elements of this movie that are just good, like plainly. There are elements of it that are like stupid kid movie. Um, but there's just a lot of stuff in it that you won't get from other movies, and it is like a ton of CGI. But yeah, you can kind of just grow used to it. Just watch it pretending it's a cartoon.
I'm very picky. Like, if it ain't done practically, it's like that's fake. I already noticed it like right away. Like, I can tell if it's like, oh, that was real or that was like a computer. And I think people are starting to realize that. So that's why I think practical effects are starting to come back around
That
a little
is
bit.
true. That practical effects are coming back around, and like you got to understand if you're going to Racer that is like
Yeah,
that's
it's
not what they're
impossible.
going for. Well, yeah, it's impossible, and that's not at all what they're going for. Like they have entire scenes where they could have just put them in a street, but instead they have a green screen because um I don't know why they just create this feeling of energy, and it's very cartoony. So yeah, if you go into that expecting anything looking realistic, you're gonna be disappointed. Not a realistic looking movie at all. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of like using CGI to create like this mix between cartoon and real life. That I kind of
Yeah.
enjoy. I like it. Like it's not like CGI is the worst thing ever. It's just that a lot of times it looks really bad. I don't think it looks horrible in Speed Racer. There are a lot of examples where CGI stuff looks really bad. Um, yeah.
Even like in the Apes movies, the Planet of the Apes, those new ones, like that's a real ape. That's insane. You
I
seen
haven't
those?
seen. No, I haven't seen them.
It's like the best ever. Like it does, like you can see like the specks of dust like on the individual furs.
Hmm.
It blew my mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of yeah. I do like the commitment. They've kind of got a video games thing going on where they're just like make everything look as realistic as possible. Obviously, we had puppets come back into Star Wars is
Oh
probably the
yeah,
biggest example of practical effects again, um, instead of CGI. And yeah, it does look better. Um, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, and then we had like because it makes me think of like The Thing and kind of what also David Lynch had a ton of just crazy stuff with practical effects. Practical effects are ultimately cooler than special effects.
oh yeah.
Um,
Like in Tenet, like they actually crashed a plane into like a real airport. And I was like, like I didn't know they actually crashed the plane, but I was like, I could tell that that was real.
Jeez, yeah, that's terrifying. Like, yeah, in The Dark Knight, they flipped a semi
Yeah, they
or
actually flipped a
something.
semi.
Yeah, and so yeah, that is cool. Yeah, it is about like I don't know. Yeah, that's like been a thing because they even had Mad Max and that had a lot of crazy
Oh,
practical effects
that's like the best action movie ever made. That movie made me
too.
a man. I saw that when I was like 13, and like just like pure testosterone. It like I was like, oh my god.
I've seen parts of it. I haven't actually seen it all. I've wanted to, but
It's a
oh
piece
yeah,
of art, man.
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, this is like yeah. I had this whole rant about directing last episode, and I love the little fundamentals of making stuff, and that's kind of like perfecting just making these insane action sequences. And yeah, there is like there's you're definitely right. There's an art to directing action scenes.
Oh yeah.
Um, like one of my I think there's even a YouTube video about it called like action comedy or something like that. I forget who it's by. It might be like a closer look. But it talks about how a lot of Jackie Chan movies are directed and how it gives a feeling of weight and stuff to every punch. It's really cool actually. But yeah, action like it's a lot more complicated than people think of. I actually watched a movie that I thought had like the worst edited scene I've seen in my life. People would just like jump places, but then you wouldn't know where that was. It takes like if you don't know what you're doing going into it, it's gonna look really bad. It takes a lot of hard work. And yeah, it's really cool.
You ever see like that meme of like Liam Neeson climbing the fence and there's like 17 cuts in like 5 seconds?
No, I haven't. What?
Like that's not how you direct action. They
Yeah,
have to do it because like Liam Neeson's like 60 and he can't like climb a fence. They have to cut it like from 17 different angles in like 3 seconds.
yeah. That's when you see like stuff cutting too much. It's always a bad sign. You want stuff to just shots to last, or else it's just leaving you in a daze.
Yeah, like John Wick. It's just like long, beautiful things. He's just going like crazy.
That's true. Yeah.
He's over 50. He's still
Yeah. What
making
the
these
heck?
movies. He's like better fit than I am.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. All these action movies are starring these super old people.
Dude, what is Hollywood giving these guys? They have like the elixir of life.
I wouldn't be
There's no way.
surprised. Hollywood would be the type of place where they would just like have the key to immortality, and then they just like wouldn't give it to the general populace because they don't think that we're ready for it. Curse you,
Dude,
Hollywood. I want that immortality.
There's like people who are 35 who are like, "Ow, I can't lift that box. My back hurts." And I'm like,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is jumping off of rooftops. Yeah, he actually jumped off like a rooftop and like broke his ankle like in the shot.
Yeah, I just walked in, they were watching some like movie where Jackie Chan, it might be that one where he's like my cousin's a spy, my neighbor's a spy or something. I forget what it was about. But he's in this stupid kids movie and he's like 60 years old and he's like doing these insane stunts where he's climbing up ladders and stuff like that and just in these giant action scenes. And I'm like, why are you're insane. It has to be for the love of it. Jackie Chan is just flexing on us all the time. He's so cool. I love Jackie Chan.
Yeah, how old is he? He has to be
right now? Oh yeah, he's probably in his I don't know. I'd imagine 70 by now.
Oh my god.
I feel so old. Don't remind me how old Jackie Chan is.
You feel old. Brett, I think you're like a couple months older than me.
That's fair, yeah.
We're like the same age.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, it's a good life being old, you know?
I like
but
how
not
we went
that
from
old.
like The Matrix to like random movies in like 5 minutes.
Oh no, Marscola said we talk about movies too much. Quick, alright, stop talking about movies. Give me the next thing, Hunter.
I like how we went from like The Matrix and like Neuralink interfaces to like movies in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. That is how it be. It's not like I watch movies all the time. It's just that I like to talk about movies. You feel that?
Yeah, I'm like big into movies. Like, I think I might want to do movies when I'm older, but like, it's kind of hard because like I want to make it, and I just don't want to be some like small guy doing commercials. Like, I want to make like real movies.
Yeah,
like,
that's always tough. Is that that the bar to entry is just somebody's going to tell you exactly what to do, and then you do that. Which isn't fun.
Sometimes it's just like up to luck, just making it.
That's true. Skull is also trying to go into movies. You hear that?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dang, I wish he was here. Oh man. But yeah, if Skull becomes a millionaire, maybe I should try to get him to let me act in one. I'd be so bad.
Does he want to be like a director or like a?
Yeah, he wants to be like a director.
That'd be me or a cinematographer. I like how those shots be looking.
Yeah. No, I had this huge rant last episode about directing. I love directing. It's such because you get this feeling you can really have a style with directing, and then you really set the pace of the film. And that's what I love now is like how films can get paced and stuff. Alright, we've talked Skola's told me that someone's complained that we talk too much about movies. So we gotta stop. So you have a few things written down that you wanted to talk about. I want to talk about one of those things.
Okay, so here's my list. We got aliens, conspiracies, political stuff, my divine intervention stories, and then death grips. That's the itinerary.
Alright. I'll take aliens first. So is it alien conspiracies? Is that
It's just like aliens in general. I think they exist. Right.
You think so I mean
100%.
A majority of people at this point think that like aliens exist somewhere in the universe. Do you mean that aliens exist as in there are aliens that have been to Earth? Like that?
Yeah, I think they've been to Earth, but I don't think they're residing within the same dimension of us. I think they're interdimensional beings who can like move in like between like the dimensional layers. Like we're in the third dimension. Like there's one above and below us that like we can't even see.
So yeah, it's like when Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about the ant walking around, and then you pick up something, and to the ant that's disappeared, but you've just put it into the third dimension because the ant's in the second dimension. Then you put it back down and it's reappeared to the ant, but really it's just you moved it in the third dimension, but they can't comprehend the third dimension. So you're thinking that something like that is going on, where aliens can just appear here and then seem to disappear, but really they're just in the fourth dimension and then they reappear here.
Yeah, it sounds like a Christopher Nolan movie, but yeah, that's pretty much.
So you just think so because of like you've seen images of like flying saucers from people?
No, those are 100% fake. Those are so dumb. Like, you can just like edit it, but like there's actually like this thing that it was like I forget what it was, like the COVID relief package. But for some reason there were like people wanted stuff released about like UFOs. And there's like this one video. Well, if this was like a real podcast, we could like pull it up right now. But it's like this like pill looking thing, and it like goes from like 0 to 50,000 feet in like half or like a second, which is like impossible for any object to do. And this is like real. Like the government's just like, yep, here it is. Like nothing can do that. So I'm like, hey, must be aliens.
I mean, I do want to avoid like just being like, I can't explain this, therefore aliens.
That's true.
Like, so I think that, so I don't know. I haven't seen this video. We can try to have Zach pull it up and do that whole thing. But yeah. So if this is something that's impossible that we're watching, I don't even know what to. Yeah, that'd be cool to watch. I'd like to give it to like somebody like Mr. Culver and have him look at it and try to talk about it. Because yeah, even at St. Joe, we have people who know a lot about physics and who know about how things should work. And yeah, but yeah, if we don't have any other explanation to it, I wouldn't just jump to aliens. But yeah, it makes you think. But yeah.
Like, what is that though? Like, for the United States, it's unidentified, so it's not one of ours. And I think we're like technologically like the big dogs in the world.
I mean, that's possible. Yeah, like I don't know, but yeah, I would avoid just saying I don't know, therefore aliens. But yeah, if I was,
true. I'm not saying it's absolutely. I'm just saying like, I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm not being 100% sure. I could be wrong. Like I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Is that sometimes we're just given information that we can't come to a concrete answer about. And we have to kind of like try to go off our like best stuff that we have. And so yeah. So yeah, is that the like biggest thing for aliens for you, or what?
There's this thing in statistics. I forget what it's called, but it's like if you have like something that like has a very small chance of happening, it's like 0.00001 or something like that, or even smaller. But then you put that in like a big enough like data set, like the universe. That's a huge data set. Like you roll the odds for like this one thing happening. It's like it'll definitely happen because it's such a large data set that's like it's bound to happen like sometime. So that's like why I think Earth is so rare. Like it's like that low percentage, but I think it's like the universe is so vast that like probably could happen again, like life being created, and you know.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's not something that most people disagree with. I think. Like we're all like, yeah, there's probably other life somewhere out there. How advanced that is, I have no idea. And yeah, it is. Like, if it is something that's so incredibly small chance, like, we can't even really know that well, because we haven't really, like, explored outside of our solar system. And so, it'd be insane if we, like, because I think the first thing that we would get is, maybe some radio waves that are really weird, or something. But here's the, like, most people we like to assume that aliens are going to operate like us. But they could they would probably be, because like things like I don't know, some people depict aliens as like humanoid, and I guess maybe if you think humanoid is optimal, but that doesn't really make sense. I think that if there are aliens out there, they'd be super different from us, maybe incomprehensibly so. And if they're intelligent, I don't know. Like life is one thing, but then consciousness,
Yeah.
I think, is an entirely different thing. So that's tough. Uh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not about being like human. It's about like having a sort of consciousness level that like we have. Like we have love and all that stuff. We're not like a beaver. Like it's just a beaver. It just like eats and stuff. Like it doesn't like think like we do.
yeah. So there are a few, and even what other people underestimate when they say intelligent life is that you need something that communicates, because we communicate, we talk to each other, and then that allows us to build things and be better than ourselves. And that also, like if you had a solitary kind of alien, it wouldn't be communicating, and that means it wouldn't have any impetus to communicate with us. It wouldn't want to do that, and it probably, I don't know what kind of creature could build a rocket ship by itself, but I don't imagine one could. So it'd need to be as social as us, or not as, but like also social, and also intelligent. And so, like, we might be looking at, I guess I'm kind of proposing a Goldilocks theory for, like, I guess being able to, like, being something that would also create, like, flying saucers and stuff like that. Like, that's very human things to do. I know that that's what we think aliens do. But a lot of the things that we say, oh, that's aliens stuff, and our alien media is very human media, because we like to make stories about humans.
Yeah. The thing about that pill is it's not like a UFO. It's just like kind of a small object. Like I don't think any human could like fit in it. It doesn't look like, it just looks like a pill. And it's like, I think if it was going that fast, it would like break the sound barrier like even more than like the jets that can already do that can.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so funny if we have like pill-sized aliens and they're just whizzing by our heads. They're going like Mach 5, so we can't even see them, but they're chilling.
That'd be such a disappointment.
No, it
like,
wouldn't. It's really cool.
People really want these aliens to be like tentacle monsters. They're like, this is a disappointment. Go back home.
Yeah, like even size. That's a good point. Is that there's no obligation for these other intelligent life. Maybe it's just this, like an inch tall, or maybe it's 50 feet tall. We always, like create things to our scale, but probably wouldn't be to our scale.
I feel like it'd have to be kind of like a little big, because like to have intellectual brains, you need like a pretty good sized brain to do that.
But one interesting thing is that, well, I guess brains. Oh man, I have to comment on that too. All right, brains. So would they see? You're saying that they would have brains, and then so it would kind of be like us. I guess, yeah, because is like we have yet to find a way for like a small thing to be intelligent. So when we say intelligent life, we're actually assuming that a lot of the same instances happen to them, where they have like brains and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. But all right, wait. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I forgot. Oh yeah. So do you think that how would life be in the fourth dimension? Like how would that be created, right? Because we've seen how life was created in our dimension, extremely rare. But like, how would? So I guess you probably don't have an explanation for it, but we don't see any life that's strictly 2D in reality, because ants are like 3D like us. So yeah, how do you like? So would there be able to be life that would be created in like the fourth dimension, or no?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I don't even know. Like we can't even like comprehend the fourth dimension. That's why we're only in the third. Like if we were to be shown like all these other dimensions, we just go like crazy. We won't be able to like compute that.
But
Aren't wormholes like dimensional like things? Like I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh, I don't think we know that, and I don't think that I don't think we know that right now. I don't know. And one of the weird things to me is that I don't think there's anything that's like truly two-dimensional or like one-dimensional.
Yeah,
So I don't know
we
if
can't see those other parts.
like, yeah, but I don't know if, um,
I think it's like a filter. Like we only see like to this dimension, but then like if we were to somehow know the fourth dimension, it'd be like lifting up a filter, and now we like, oh, we see the fourth dimension now. It's like a filter.
Yeah, but like, so my thing is that like I'm not sure if the first and second dimension are actually real, if they're just like constructs, you know? I think it's possible that like this whole concept of dimensions is like fantasy effectively. I know that a lot of smart people believe in dimensions. So I'm not very well versed in this and I could be wrong. But like it's not like, you know, we're observing a dot and it's behaving entirely differently than everything else. I think that we might just be in this one dimension. There is no other real plane of existence. I don't know. What do you got to say about it?
I think it's like so like where we are right now. There's all of the dimensions. It's just that we can't see them. Like there's fourth, fifth, sixth dimensional like parts of you, but we just can't see them because we like our filters and our brains can only comprehend up to the third. So there's like dimensions like all around of us. It's not like, oh, we're going to like an alternative like universe like in the movies or whatever. It's like it's just like, whoa, no way.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Scola? I can't believe you came, Scola.
Yeah, we got let off early in the meeting. Y'all can continue what you were talking about. I'll jump in when I can.
It's a completely normal conversation, Jacob. I assure you.
Right.
Go ahead, allow me.
I am playing devil's advocate that there actually are no dimensions in dimension. It's kind of like dimensions. So here's a way that, yeah, I don't actually know if I believe this, but this is just an argument I'm going to put out there. That dimensions are just our ways of categorizing the already world and aren't as actually useful as we say they are. So like first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, we just say like point, flat, and then building up. But like there's no real thing that's just, you know, just one point. There's no real thing that's actually just flat. Like all things have texture. And so
I would agree.
So like my problem then is that like maybe these are just first and second and third dimensions are just ways we describe things, and there's not actually like, I don't know, there's not actually a theme here. There's not actually a trend of, oh wait, all right, I'm starting to understand like the argument for dimensions now. All right.
Yeah, he's a believer now.
All right. because like, yeah, so why should we say that we understand every single thing? That's insane. Like, but I don't know if I'm entirely sold. Man, that's a tough one.
Time is also technically a dimension. Like when we think of like location, there's like, oh, like width, then there's like height, length, height, and then there's also time. Like time's also kind of like a location. Time's like a whole dimension in itself. Like time's kind of like a location, but it's just like you can't really see it as well as others if you really think about it. Like a timeline, like that's a location.
So yeah, so I guess dimensions are just variables acting, and the argument is that there are variables acting that we cannot detect, and therefore those are the fifth and sixth. Because it's 1, 2, and then time is third dimension. Wait, no, up is third dimension. Time is fourth dimension. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there's like 11 dimensions, technically 12. I don't even understand. I'm not trying to act like I'm like smart. I'm just like I just like talking about this because it's cool.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
been a long day. This is way too intellectual of a
This is
conversation.
big brain. This is the
is
big
big
brain
brain.
podcast.
This is a little too big for me right now. This has been a very long day, but I kind of get what you mean, Beans. I still don't get it. You said you don't like dimensions, or you don't like the.
Oh well,
You-
I like heel turned in the middle of that. But my argument
Yeah, you
against
did.
dimensions was that they're let's say I guess so dimensions are variables. And so like so yeah, so we don't so the argument for dimensions is that we can't detect every single variable acting. So I guess the
Yeah.
argument against dimensions would just be that I just think that we can detect all variables. So I think that both of these are kind of non-falsifiable, which is a little bit tough. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I don't
like you go to another dimension. It's not like, oh, I'm going to a different location. I'm in the other universe. It's just like a different way of looking at reality, and like you can like traverse it slightly differently.
Hmm.
Like I watched this thing. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and like wormholes. It's like apparently it's another dimension. Like you go from like one point to the other. You just go in a straight line, but like a wormhole, it's like other dimensions. So it's just like you fold a piece of paper and you just go like straight through.
Yeah. So that's like so it's a fold in time, right? Because
Yeah, it's a fold.
In space, because space is flat, we kind of say, and I don't really understand this because I
time
didn't
is
take
too.
ABC.
Time can also be manipulated.
Oh yeah, time can be manipulated.
With
That's
gravity.
when you get into like.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
understand
gravity.
that.
That was the Vsauce video. Gosh, I don't remember it, but time moves.
Hey, Vsauce here.
But time moves like either faster or slower, closer to the ground. This was in his video, I think, Which Way is Down. Excellent video, and entirely brain breaking. I think I saw it twice. And I still don't really like comprehend it. I wish I'd watch it again and I'd be able to explain it at least a little bit. But yeah, I think that it's because no, I can't explain it. But go watch this video, Which Way is Down. He talks about time. It's insane. Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So there's other, like, if we were to go to other planets, there are planets where, like, if we were there for like an hour, the Earth time would be like completely different. Like it could be years.
Yeah. So yeah, time. I don't know how time works. So yeah, we haven't even started manipulating time. I can't wait for that to start
That'd be
happening.
so.
We're gonna
I
be
wish
like
that happened in my lifetime. I wish it does.
we're gonna
That'd
have
be so
probably little particles would be the first time travelers. We just shoot them into these weird gizmos, and we'd say, "Oh, this thing just time traveled," or something like that.
Well, you can go into like the future, like now, technically, if you just go on a different planet that's like time goes slower there, but then like everywhere else like goes way faster. That's technically time travel. I'm not sure if you could go into the past. I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Yeah,
but we don't know. You ever see Tenet, that movie?
Nah, I
I
haven't.
still need to see that.
Yeah,
Some people have said it's bad. Some people have said it's good. I still want to watch it though.
it's a fantastic movie. It's pretty big brain though. Like you think this is big brain? Like that's just like, whoa. It was not
I've
a
heard
good
people-
date night movie choice.
Yeah, I've heard people say they watched it and then they still don't know like what it's. They still don't get it. Like now, they watched it like 5 times and they're still confused.
Yeah, like if we were to manipulate time, it'd either be like we make it go faster, or if we could like invert ourselves, like that'd be sick. That'd be so cool. And then you could run like a temporal pincer movement where it's like you have like the army and they go forward through an event and they're like, okay, we know what happens. Then they invert themselves, go back in time, and then like make sure it happens. And they're all like reversed.
Oh, this sounds like Endless War. I don't like that.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
This sounds like a thing that if it were to get in like the wrong hands, which seems like any hands really,
Yeah.
it would be chaos. There are no wrong hands in this situation. Well, there is, but it's everyone's hands, so everyone just has hands, and they're all grabbing at this idea, and it's going to be chaotic no matter who comes up with it.
This is kind of remind me of this one excellent song by my guy Joanna Newsom. I mean, she's a girl, but I use
Dude,
guy
she's
gender
great.
neutrally.
She got
Oh,
snubbed
she got snubbed. What snubbed from what?
for a Grammy.
She was up for a Grammy. I didn't know that.
Well, like she should have been.
Oh, I don't think the Grammys pay enough attention to. They should be giving Joanna Newsom.
They
Grammy.
just give it to Drake and like Ed Sheeran. And it's like, do people even like think that's the best album? It's like, no.
Yeah, it's a lot of publicity. Honestly,
I appreciate the Flower Boy poster on your wall.
Oh yeah, let's go. That's a good album.
Are you an Igor guy or a Flower Boy guy?
Probably a little bit more Igor.
Yeah, Igor's my favorite.
Insane album.
It's like a perfect album.
A perfect.
Well, not really. It's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty. Like what he's doing on there. Is amazing. The production, gosh,
it's so good.
The vocal harmonies on Earthquake, I love them. And then the production.
I love how he has like the darkest voice, but his like voice is so high pitched.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's weird that like Tyler the Creator made that. You know, this is someone who started just like making gross out rap.
Yeah.
Like same with Earl Sweatshirt. They both started making gross out rap. Now they like talk about like. Now Earl Sweatshirt talks about his father dying and stuff like that. And Tyler the Creator has these giant albums where he's just pouring his heart out.
Now he's got the wig.
Yeah, now he's got the wig. Looks good in the wig.
I'd wear that wig. Dude, I used to have the bowl cut back in the day.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. I didn't want to make fun of you, but I
used to get fried for that.
It looks sick, Hunter.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I don't know what anyone was saying. It was
the
cute.
bowl cut's the move. Oh man.
It'll come back.
It'll come back? Ooh. I'm hyped.
You never know.
Oh man. Yeah, we were talking about something.
Dude, we talked about so much stuff within such a short period of time. It's the most discombobulating conversation I've ever had.
Welcome to a podcast headed by Benjamin Appleton.
How do you hosts do it? I don't get how Joe Rogan does it.
Oh my gosh, Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan just dabbles in everything. That's his thing. You know, whatever the guest is talking about, he has a few things to say about that. So he really allows his guest to drive the conversation. Then he's still invested.
Yeah, someone talks about makeup.
Beans, this is why we just got to do everything. In between recording sessions, we just got to like do everything so we can relate to our guests, man.
That's fair.
There's been so many guests that we've had on that it's not like I couldn't relate to them, but they talk about stuff that I'm not at all familiar with, and I just am like, how do I make conversation? I'm like 15 episodes in, I have no clue what to do. But yeah, I feel like you're right though. Like people who host podcasts like Joe Rogan, they really just do. Either they don't like do everything, but I think. Honestly, it may even be the mentality of I need to do some more stuff. So if I have a more diverse group of people that do different things, I can relate to them easier. Because even though, you know, it's still easy to make conversation with someone I think that you don't relate with as well, but it's a lot easier when you can share your personal experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you can tell when Joe Rogan's like in his wheelhouse, which is like MMA, and when he's not, which is like when it's MMA, he knows about more than like most everyone else. But when it's other things, you know, it's more of a back and forth.
Shoot, what was I gonna say?
No,
I literally forgot.
I'll never cut off a guest again. I've learned my lesson. God, I'm sorry.
Wait, dude, Beans, this is like the St. Joe Rogan, because like Beans is Joe, Zach is Jamie. Jacob's like Eddie Bravo, and I'm like the Neil deGrasse Tyson of BeansTalk. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though. I think that Neil deGrasse Tyson had one of the worst episodes of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, he kept interrupting him. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, so Joe Rogan's expecting a conversation, kind of like what we have going on here. You're a lot better guest than Neil deGrasse Tyson. You're better than Neil.
This is real.
That's insane.
Good job. You did better than Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Let's go.
But yeah, but some people like Neil deGrasse Tyson. They get in front of an interviewer and they just think, oh, I'm supposed to talk for 2 hours, when that's not really what that podcast was about.
Yeah.
Like I've seen
It's
that
not.
happen with like other guests. Like I'm a big Daryl Davis guy, but Daryl Davis. You could see that he has his little spiel, his little 10-second spiel, and then Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's got great stories. He's got fantastic stories, but they're all like he's got the story. He's gonna tell it, and then he might go into conversation sometimes, but sometimes it definitely is a little bit more planned than you usually see on Joe Rogan's podcast. I can't believe we're just talking about another podcast. This is
Yeah. This is
We're like talking
Inception.
We're just talking about Joe Rogan's podcast like we're another podcast. Like we're
Dude,
we're
this
at
is
that
meta.
level. Like
We
we're at
are
that
that
level.
level.
Like we even are compare. We're at that
Yo,
caliber.
Joe
We're
Rogan,
just like,
he's my homie, dude. A buddy of
Dude.
mine named Joe Rogan. He was,
We're pretty woke right now, though.
oh,
We're
hella
really woke. Oh, dude, I remember what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, it's like you think like news interviews and like radio, like that's fake. They're like, oh, we got to do the script. We have to do the advertisement here. Like this is just like a conversation. This is not about me. It's about like all of us together. So that's why it's like real. And if it goes wrong, like that's all a part of it. That's why it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't take much to prepare for an episode. After the episode, it takes a little bit, just because we have to put it out. But you're right. Like it's even. I'm not just saying podcasts are low effort, but even like the highest quality caliber podcasts, really, it is just kind of preparing your guests for what you're going to talk about, and it is just talking, because it's not a podcast if you wrote a script. It's not a podcast if you told your guests this is what you have to talk about and only this, because you want to branch out. It's not a good episode when all of the topics that we prepare are the only ones that we talked about. And I don't think that's happened yet, but there's been times where it's been a little less than others. And that's we look at that and we think, okay, we didn't either prepare enough, we didn't allow the guests to talk and do a lot more, or I don't know, maybe the guests just didn't want to talk about other stuff except for what we had to prepare. But even then, that's like our job as like the hosts of the podcast to allow branching out to happen, because at the end of the day, I honestly would be completely okay if all the topics that we have that we had talked about are none of which we prepared for. Preparing is just in case we have that kind of like dead air and we don't know what we're going to do. But it's really great when it's a topic that we weren't even prepared for, and it wasn't even a topic that we were like trying to plan out. It is good to be prepared, but it feels good when we were able to make a podcast purely out of random ideas that came from us or the guest or even Zach sometimes. I mean, it really does feel good when that happens instead.
All about improvisation.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting episode of just us not preparing at all and just going off of improv.
I mean, like, have you seen? They have this. I forget the name. It's on Netflix. It's like Middleditch and Schwartz. Middleditch and Schwartz. They do improv. It's fantastic. I didn't know improv would be like fun to watch, but this was pretty funny. The first couple episodes it's a 3-part thing where they just do an entire improv thing each time. And I love them. They're great. Improv is insane. And also jazz. I love jazz. Improv is cool.
Yeah, jazz, you're just playing on that piano. Something good's gonna come out, hopefully. It's like this podcast. It might be good. It might suck, but it's real, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, radio's gonna go away soon. Like, podcasts are just gonna take over, because this is real. Like, is this, like, the best? Well, probably the best, but, like, it's still real.
I was thinking about that. Like, you're right. Radio could very well be, like, just taken over and, like, released podcasts, but like they have podcasts on the radio. I wonder if that's just going to be what it is in the future too. Just no radio shows that release music. There'll be maybe some that just as music purely, but the rest is just going to be podcast all day. We're just going to do a live podcast all day. Because I've thought about, like, imagine making that kind of transition. Like if because there's a lot of podcasts that obviously pre-record their content. We pre-record our content. But then there's also live podcasts. That's very different, but it's also very similar, because obviously it's different because of the kind of it can make it a little cleaner. You can clean stuff up when you're pre-recording stuff, but also they're very similar because it still is the same format. There is no script. There's only a few prepared topics. So I don't know. I mean, you're right. That could be what we're moving to in the future.
And people can tell, like, when radio people are talking, like, that's just fake. Like, it's so disingenuous, but, like, I think people are starting to get, like, sick of that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I feel like there must have been, like, times when radio was real. But yeah, most of the time you put on, like, some radio today and you get, like, Delilah or something. I mean, I'm just coming at life, but, like, this isn't people having actual conversations. It's just kind of stuff to fill the air, just stuff to, like, just have on in the background. Whereas podcasts today have, like, really taken a more focused route, and they're really something that can be entertainment.
And it's not like in saying that it's like super easy, but it's a thing that people are hopping on a lot more now.
Yeah, I guess we're just part of a trend. We're just trend followers.
We hopped on at the right time, Beans.
I hope so.
The imposter in podcast among us.
Yeah.
If we get any more woke, the government's going to shut this podcast down.
Yeah, we need to move on to some
maximum levels of woke.
We need to move on to some like dumb topics, guys, before we get shut down here. I actually did have a topic that I prepared, and then I was like, nah. But then now that we're talking like this, I was very curious because I kind of just brushed it off because I had no idea what the heck you were talking about, Hunter. But I don't know if it was last week or the week before. What the heck is a Lady Gaga Oreo, bro?
Dude, it's a good Oreo, man. It's just like
he offered me his last Lady Gaga Oreo in AP US Government, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's if it's just not called that, and he's just calling it that, or like, what is it?
It's literally just a yellow Oreo, but it's just pink. Did you see that video of Kanye West where he's like, if you can communicate money off the product, you can make money off the product? And he's like, look at Gaga. Like, that's literally what she did, and like, just with Oreos. Like, she knows nothing about Oreos, but she just put their name on Oreos, and now I'm giving them out. Well, so she won.
Does it taste good? Is it really good?
I mean, it's just like a yellow Oreo. Like, I think it's not as good as the original Oreo.
Oh, so is it like, is she teaming up with the brand Oreo, or did she make her own cookie, and that's the exact same kind of thing as an Oreo, and then make that her business?
No, I think Lady Gaga is like focused on finding her dogs. So I think it's just like the Oreo company made the. Yeah, her dogs got stolen. Didn't you hear, Beans?
What?
I don't follow
her dogs
news,
got stolen.
especially since
Been on the internet.
Especially since I gave up Twitter for Lent, and YouTube.
Oh, that's probably why.
My phone. Oh, what?
Yeah, her dogs got stolen. She's giving out $500,000 to whoever can find them.
Where are these dogs? Can we get these dogs?
I don't know, man. They're probably taken hostage.
That'd be nice to fly. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that her dogs got taken. Guys, give her back your dogs.
That kind of sucks. Whoever actually took her dogs can now just get $500,000 for acting innocent and being like, "Hey, I found your dogs," which sucks.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of dog.
People are gonna start stealing celebrities' dogs. Dude, don't. No.
Chihuahua, you can just leave that dog there. Like, you don't need that dog back.
Oh, it's a Chihuahua. Oh, yeah, I ain't. No, I'm good with 500,000. That's fine. I'm good.
Don't need.
Can we talk about like how I don't know why a lot of people hate. Well, I do know why. I know why I hate Chihuahuas.
I've never met a Chihuahua, so I'm not.
I've never met a Chihuahua either. I am very prejudiced against Chihuahuas, and I do have to work on that in my personal.
You mean like small dogs in general, or
no? Chihuahuas. Some small dogs are adorable and they're really fun to play with. No, okay. Chihuahuas just they shake like all the time. They look like they're always cold, which they probably are because they have no fur. I don't know. They just and the fact. Yeah, I don't know, man.
You just don't like that things shake and are
no,
cold?
I just don't like because I don't know. It just annoys me. No, just the Chihuahua.
Annoys you?
Only
the
Chihuahua.
I did that when I got out of a cold shower. Three.
Oh dang, dude!
Yeah,
Look
he's
at
coming at
Hunter.
me now.
Hunter is a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I'm a
There's
chihuahua.
a chihuahua. If you shake, you're a chihuahua.
Dude, I don't know. So
If
you don't
you
really
shake,
have
you're
a
a
reason
chihuahua.
to hate Chihuahuas. You just kind of like
No, I don't
in your
like them.
soul.
I also don't think they like, in terms of like dogs, like the cutest dogs. They're definitely not up there for me.
Oh yeah, that's
I
fair.
think I know what it is.
What is it?
What's that movie with George Lopez and he's like a
Oh.
chihuahua?
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yeah, that movie was
like,
just like so bad.
Yes.
it was so bad.
I think I
It
saw
ruined
this.
an entire species of dogs forever.
Yeah, that might have been why I hate it. I hate them as well because it was so annoying.
Even
That's
when
when-
I was like an idiot little kid, I thought that movie was bad. That's when you know it's a bad movie.
I don't remember this movie, but that's the most stand-up comic thing to do. Is just to like, you're old and you've got like a bunch of money from being a stand-up comic, so now you're just gonna like do something abysmal and just make a ton of money and ruin Chihuahuas for the entire population of the United States. And why not? That's
It's what Will
Yeah,
Ferrell
you got-
does now.
Yeah.
what Adam Sandler does too. Nobody.
Oh,
Dude,
that
he,
was.
he could be in good movies, but he just like does stupid comedies.
He doesn't care.
Should've
Oh,
been-
by the way, this like
He's a
really
good
bad.
actor.
He's a good actor, but this really bad movie that he was in, I forget what it's called. It was like I was just scrolling through on demand, and it was listed as a dark comedy. It was not funny, and it was trying very hard to be dark. But like then I looked up the movie, and there was an interview with Will Ferrell because it was so bad. It was like there were so many cliches, and there were some like awkward moments. But then I looked up an interview, and Will Ferrell said when they were making that movie, like that was meant to be bad. Like he made the movie to be bad. He straight up said this because he was like, I just wanted to have fun and do something different because he makes good funny movies a lot. Why not make something where it looks like you're trying so hard to make a Will Ferrell movie, except it's actually Will Ferrell and he's just doing it on purpose.
You can't have a so bad it's good movie unless like you try to make a good movie. That's why The Room is hilarious because like they thought they were making like the Citizen Kane of movies, but it's actually like the most hilarious thing ever. But I think like Will Ferrell just not trying, like that's not funny.
Yeah, no,
like
it wasn't.
They knew it was bad.
You know what's interesting though is that there actually is like the Eric Andre show. There was an interview with Eric Andre where he was just like
the one.
He was just like, I was like a temp at some office or something, and I hated my job, and I just wanted to imagine what it was like if a talk show host hated their job also. And then he
That's
made
like
the
anti-humor.
Oh, that's true.
I love that show.
I do love that show.
We need to have a news and broadcasting thing at our
Oh,
school, but it's just like an Eric Andre.
Dude, one of my favorite YouTubers actually does an Eric Andre spoof every single April Fool's Day, and I'm here for it. I love it. But yeah,
He interviewed a bear one time.
He did? Like a real
like an
bear?
actual bear. Yeah, they like brought it into the studio and it like crushed his table. He was like, you like trees? And it was just like clawing the couch.
This seems like the next step for BeansTalk. We gotta just
get a bear on here.
That'd be hilarious. What if we just sent
a beaver?
What if we just sent Zach out into the fort or like the woods or something to go find a bear, and he's just holding the camera and he's like repeating what we have to say, and then there's a part where he has to run away.
We have wolves in Indiana.
Honestly, I can do that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Wolves. Wait, we could
Coyotes.
interview a wolf, sure. Wolves are wolves just like scavengers? Is this
Wolves are just like big dogs.
big?
Yeah,
But dogs
big
are like
dog.
scavengers. Have you
Big
seen
dogs.
Yeah, you just
Like-
got to give a wolf a big bone, just a really big bone, and then you'll be friends.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
But like like you see a dog and it's this big dumb thing, and you see a cat, like that's a trained killer. Like that will murder something.
Okay, but
dogs
also,
are just scavengers.
like dogs. Like I was looking, like yesterday, I was watching the fastest dog competition thing where they just like chase that like piece of plastic down 100 yards and they compete. And I looked to my dad and I said, you want to know something? This is really cool, but this would not work at all with cats because cats are mean, they're jerks, and they're not fun.
Mm,
I don't I don't
that's
like
fair.
cats for a lot of reasons, but those are like the top reasons because they just wouldn't do stuff like if they somehow had the consciousness of humans and like knew that sporting events were fun, they would like release a social media post that says I hate all sports and I hate all America's pastimes because I want to what you love. Like
Alright,
that's what I feel like cats are like. Most cats, when they're kittens, though, they have no brain, and they don't care, and they're just cute.
alright, but I have recently gotten a cat. Let me sell you on cats. You know, have you ever just wanted to be a tiny thing and just explore your room? And it's like
Yeah, like climbing into like the boxes and stuff. Yes.
yeah, and the cats do that, dude. And the cat, like, he'll do this giant leap. I've got a bunk bed, and he'll leap from my desk onto the bunk bed, and it's super cool. And they do all this exploration and stuff. And that's what I appreciate cats, like their verticality and their curiosity is just really cool to witness. And so, like, they're really cool to watch, but you're not gonna be able to get them to like do things. They're gonna do stuff, and you're like, whoa, look at that cat. He's doing something cool.
Yeah, I hope you secretly, I hope you know, Beans, that cat secretly has an agenda against you, an evil agenda. That cat is mean and
No,
loves no
he's not.
one.
That
Cat
Cat
works
loves
for
no
the
one.
Russians.
Yes, they work. It works. Yeah,
I have one of the
it,
friendliest cats I've ever met, dog. This
it
cat is
acts.
my home.
That's just what it wants you to think, Beans.
It's just what I want you to think. Seriously, I'm not
It's already
kidding.
gotten
We're
you.
friends, I swear.
Why do you think? Why do you think dogs hate cats so much? Because they're the only ones in the know. They can sniff that out, man. They
What?
actually know what's going on.
Why do dogs freak out anytime they see other dogs? Like when
I
I
don't
see
know.
I think
Beans in the
it's.
hallway, I'm like, oh, there's Beans. But like when a dog sees
I
another
think
dog,
it's
they're like,
because
"Woof, woof, woof, woof."
they're so domesticated. Like especially my dogs, they don't go out a lot. Like past our, they go out inside in our yard a lot, but especially during COVID, we don't really bring them to a lot of like dog parks, so they don't see a lot of dogs. So it's not like I don't think it's like a. It's either they get really excited or they're like threatened because it's their territory.
Yeah, I got a good thing for you, Hunter. Alright? Imagine you've been trapped in a house for like 6 months with only dogs around. And then one of the days, you're just out and about and you see another human. Alright? That's.
Um,
You'd also be like, wow, yeah!
you're like, sir, please back off.
I mean, that's kind of how it is. I think it would be a little more maybe civilized, other
Yeah.
than like barking at someone and trying to like sniff their butt. But
But
it
obviously,
definitely,
you know, that's dog civilized.
yeah,
I
that's
would probably
dog.
start barking.
Yeah, you feel threatened by someone else, and you're like, there is no one else. Like that's how you would feel. You would almost kind of feel like that. Like that's how people in zombie apocalypse movies are when they see another human after they think they're the only one. They're like, okay, this person could be a friend or could be an enemy or they could be a zombie trying to trick me. I better shoot them just to be sure. And or they're super excited and they like say, hey, it's another human. I don't know.
The zombies are woke. Dude, they got woke watching this podcast. That's how they got woke.
Oh no. That should be the
I
title.
imagine
If you're a zombie, don't watch this.
when he said that, I imagine like in those zombie apocalypse worlds, like those old radios that are on the side of the road that someone dropped, and you hear our voices going through, and it's just on repeat over and over again. That's
This
funny.
will be the last thing humanity has. Like all of Rogan's podcasts will go away. All of the literature, nothing. Just Beans podcast. This will be the
Yep.
standard for education for the apocalypse.
I think this is my favorite dystopia of them all. The BeansTalk dystopia, where all media is now BeansTalk.
Yeah, but it's not even our fault. It was just because we're the only ones left, and we're small enough that the government didn't get to us.
Yeah, we're just still recording
Yeah.
BeansTalk, even though the apocalypse is going on.
I'm sitting here like I could go like to your house, Beans, and see if you're okay because there's zombies going about. But I'm like, let's just stay and record. I got plenty of food in the fridge. No one else is eating it now, so
Yeah, got some chicken rigatoni in the fridge. It's pretty good.
So here's the deal. Zach has to go. Like,
No.
Zach does have to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end it here. Hunter, thanks for coming on. Sorry I came halfway through, but I'm glad I was actually able to make it.
yeah. All right. I got one last thing to say. Yo, you remember that one time when that like oil pipe or something burst, and we all had to just sit in the church, and
Hey,
then
Christ the King?
you got all them boss bucks, and you're the richest man in the world now, Hunter. Do you remember this?
What?
No, I remember
Beans, this is the worst. This is the worst
No.
outro you've ever had.
No,
We're not even gonna let you do an outro this time. It's so
No.
bad. You know what? That was your chance.
Remember when you were the richest guy back in first grade?
Did I used to say that?
No, you were. You had all of the boss. Do you remember boss bucks? Someone else validate my
Oh,
memory.
dude, I remember. Yes, I had all the Dude, I remember.
Yes.
Dude, you just unlocked new memories I didn't know I had.
Ladies and gentlemen,
me a
thank you for
minute.
coming on to BeansTalk. It was a nice episode. Thank you for coming on. Hunter, thanks for coming on, man. We had a lot of fun talking
Dude,
to you.
This has been the greatest thing of my life. We didn't even get to like topic 2. We just did one topic for like over an hour.
We do need
Really?
more. We do need two-part 100 episode.
Bro, there's like 6 things we didn't get to.
I know.
That's crazy.
All right,
All right, Beans. I'll give you another chance. Take us out with an outro.
I'll do the outro after Beans.
Okay. Hey guys, we've got Hunter Horan, and now I am not the man. It's gonna be Hunter because he's doing the outro. So now, peace out, folks. Go Hunter.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Beautiful.
To infinity and beyond. Let's get it. Woo!
Zach, take us out.